Okay, welcome to video tutorial for B-Day second stripe material. Okay, the first thing we're going to look at is the high block. Okay, so let's go ahead and look. We're going to start by looking at, we're going to start in parallel ready stance. Okay, feet shoulder width apart. We're going to chamber our, I'm going to chamber my left arm in front. So what you want to do is, as you're doing the block, you're going to retract and then bring the blocking arm up. So I'm going to retract, I'm going to bring my blocking arm to the knot of my belt, and then I'm going to come straight up like so. Okay, you want your fist facing outward, you want your arm to end up at an angle. So if somebody's actually trying to strike you, it's going to deflect a strike, okay? You don't want it to have it flat like that. So I'm going to do just like that. So I'm going to do a few of those. And one more. Okay, so let's do this. Usually we do this as we're stepping into a front stance. So I'm going to chamber my front arm, left arm in front. I'm going to step through and do that high block, just like that. So, good, left foot in front. Okay, ready? Okay, the chambering arm is going to be up front, shoulder height, and just like that. Make sure you get your fists are nice and tight. Making sure your wrists are straight. Okay, so you're going to step through and block, just like that. Okay, now when you're doing getting into a front stance, remember, stance is wide and long, okay? Front knee bent. Okay, step through and block. Okay, make sure you get above your head, okay? You don't want to be down this low here. Okay, somebody's trying to strike you on top of your head. Okay, ready? Okay, do a couple more. And, okay. So now I want to do this with a partner. Mr. Thompson assists. Let's get her to go over here. Okay, so you can have your partner stick the target right there, stationary, right in your face. So what I'm going to do is chamber my back arm in front. I'm going to come up straight up to deflect the blocker, like so. Okay. And 1, and 2, and 3. Okay, now he's going to push it into my face. Okay, you ready? Yes, sir. And 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now he's going to try to strike me on top of the overhead strike. Okay, ready? And 1, and 2, and 3. Okay, very good. Yes, sir. So, very important. You do this block. Okay, arm is at an angle, fist is facing forward, your wrist is straight, and you retract your other wrist to your waist, just like that. And that's the high block. Okay, now we're going to look at a self-defense move. It's called the prayer block. Okay, it's a way of defense against a double tough guy attack or a double shoulder grab attack. Okay, it's a way of getting your attacker's arms off you. So basically, you want to start in a parallel ready stance, feet shoulder width apart. Okay, you want to start with your hands at your waist. Okay, so basic mechanics of doing this. When somebody grabs your shoulders or does a double tough guy, you're going to bring your hands together. Okay, just like that. Why we call it the prayer block. Okay, and then we're going to come straight up inside their arms, come out like that, and get into a wedge guard, and move away. Okay, very important. I use a lot of force when you do this, okay? Because you want to break their hold. So your attacker's going to grab you, and come inside like this. You're going to come up inside their arm, come out like that, and then get to a wedge guard and move away. Okay, it's very important to also tell them to let go. Okay, nobody has a right to touch you without your permission, so make sure you tell them to let go. So let's do it one more time. Bring your hands together, come up, break, into the wedge guard. Okay, so now we'll have Mr. Thompson demonstrate an attack. Okay. And we're going to do this, when we do this with a partner, we're just going to do the double shoulder grab attack. It's a little safer to do it that way. Okay, so Mr. Thompson, double shoulder grab attack. Grab my shoulder. Come up inside like this, break, and back away and get to the wedge guard. Okay, let's do it again. Double shoulder grab attack. Bring your hands up, break, let go. Okay, one more time. Okay, make sure you use a lot of force when you do this, okay? Because they might have a good hold on you. Okay, twin shoulder grab attack. Oh, let go. So he grabbed me to the double tough guy. A little harder to get him to let go. So I really have to use a little more force there. So very important to use a lot of force. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Sir.
And that's the prayer block. Okay, now we're going to look at the horizontal knife hand strike. Okay, this term we are using the strike in a sitting stance. So let's go ahead and review. You've already seen how Mr. Thompson covered it in the A-Day video, but we're going to look at it again. You're going to spread your feet past your shoulders, okay? Try to keep your toes pointed to the front and bend your knees. So drop a little bit, keep your back straight, just like that. Okay, so the chamber for the knife hand strike. You start on top of your shoulder, your palm facing your ear, okay? Your other arm's underneath. And what you're going to do is you're going to come up and twist and come to this position. Okay, remember, when you're striking, you might want to tense your fingers up a little bit. So bend them just a little bit, put a little tension. And you do not want to strike with the fingers. Okay, so if you strike something with your fingers, you'll feel it. So like if you're going to do a board break, it would hurt. But you want to strike right here on the meaty part of the side of your hand. So you're going to look at the target and you're going to strike. Okay, remember, you're not locking your elbow. You don't want to lock your elbow. You want to have it slightly bent when you strike. So as you hit your target, your elbow is slightly bent. So let's go ahead and do a few of those. 1, and 2, and 3. And I'll do the other side too. Make sure you got your elbows out. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, let's do this with a target. Striking a target. Mr. Thompson's going to assist me with this. Okay, so I'm going to start in a sitting stance. Good idea to hold the shield up like this. Okay. Okay. We'll get into a good sitting stance. Okay. Go ahead and test your distance. Make sure you want to be out like this, where you're going to just hit your fingers. Doesn't feel very good, actually. Okay. So go right for the center of the target. Okay, ready? 1. I'm going to touch and push first. 2, 3. Okay, now I want to hit a little bit harder. 1, 2, 3. Now you can actually put a little twist into it too. Not too much. You don't want to get where you're bending over a little bit. You want to just twist just a little bit and then strike. Okay, ready? And strike. Okay, so make sure. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Sir.
Okay, good handshake. Fingers together, thumb against your fingers. Okay, bend your fingers just a little bit, striking with just part of your hand. Make sure you're not locking your elbow when you're striking. And that's Mr. Thompson. Sorry. Okay, we're going to add a shuffle step to this. Okay, so like we're doing in the pad. Okay. I'm going to test my distance. Okay, looks good. Okay, and 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so that's how you deal with a shuffle step. Okay, so that's the knife hand, horizontal knife hand strike. Okay, now we're going to use the high block in a different way. We're going to use it as a strike. Okay, we're going to do a high block and then we're going to do a reverse punch, just like in the pattern. So we're going to do something like this. We're going to step through, high block, reverse punch, just like that. Okay, starting in the front, good front stance, wide and long. Step through, high block, reverse punch. Okay, so I'm going to use Bob as my partner because I can hit him really hard. So we're using the high block for it is a strike. So what I'm going to do is, actually let me do it the other way so you can see better. Okay, I'm going to step through and I'm going to strike through the high block right into the neck, under the jaw. Okay, very painful to whoever gets this strike. Okay, so I'm going to step through and high block there, and then I'm going to do a reverse punch, just like that. Okay, so I'm changing my front arm, right front stance. I'm going to step through and strike, reverse punch, just like that. Just like in the pad. Okay, ready, and go. Okay, very effective strike. You hit somebody here, they're going to want to get away from you. So, and that punch also is going to keep the bad guy away from you. So that's how we use the high block as a striking implement. And that's the high block. Okay, now we're going to look at the 2 wrist releases. The one, the inner forearm wrist release, inner forearm block wrist release, and then we're going to do the high block wrist release. We're going to start with the inner forearm wrist release. Basically, you're going to stand hands up front. So you want to, when somebody grabs, and say they grab my left wrist, I'm going to twist, pull back to my waist, step back on that side, and then I'm going to do an inner forearm block against their arm to get them to let go of me. So just like that. So it's rotate, pull into your waist, step back on that same side, inner forearm block, just like that. So let's put it together, pull in, and inner forearm block. So you might have to even scoop a little bit, you know, if the grab is pretty low. So one more time, all together, and go. Just like that. And then break away. Okay, so doing this with a partner. Okay, be nice with your partner. Actually, when you're doing this, actually touch your partner's arm and then do that inner forearm block. Okay, don't do a hard block. Okay, Mr. Thompson.
Yes, sir.
Can you assist me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so Mr. Thompson, what do your right? Yeah, grab my left wrist. Okay, so I'm gonna rotate my wrist, step back, and then inner forearm block, just like that. Okay, again. Okay, twist, pull in, step back on that same side that you're grabbing, inner forearm block, just like that. So now I'm gonna put it together. Okay. Okay, just grab attack. And okay, I'm just gonna touch. I'm not gonna strike. I'm gonna just touch, and then do the inner forearm block. Okay. One more time. Okay. Straight grab attack. Step back, and then get to the wedge guard and move away. Okay. So now we're gonna look at the high block wrist release. Okay, you might use this if somebody much taller than you grabs you, and then so it's easier just to do the high block because it's easier to get inside. So, Mr. Thompson?
Sir.
I am going to,
The attack.
yes, so.
So it's going to look the same way as with the inner forearm block. You're still going to retract and step back and then do the block. Basically, if somebody's taller than you, it just gives you a little more leverage than the inner forearm block. So go ahead and step through and grab. Okay, I'm going to retract, step back on that side, and then instead of doing the inner forearm block this way, I'm just going to go straight up over, wedge and get away.
Okay.
So wrist grab attack, retract, step back, high block, wedge guard, disengage. I should probably tell him to let go. He doesn't have to put his hands on me without my permission. Wrist guard attack. Let go!
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Thompson.
Thanks, sir.
It's very hard to hold on when somebody's actually striking you with that inner forearm block or high block. Okay, so if you're not doing this with a partner, but with somebody, a real bad guy that's trying to grab you, you're gonna do it as hard as you can. You want to make them hurt. And that's the two wrist release that we're going to cover this term.